Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So today we are going to read Teachings of Queen Kunti, chapter number 13. I hope everything is visible. So let me turn this. Okay, so let us read it from here. The vital force of the universe. Janma karma cha me, Janma karma cha Vishvatman, Ajasya krur Atmanaha, Triyanan Irishu Yatah Tad Atyad Vidambanam. Of course, it is bewildering, oh, the soul of the universe, that you work though you are inactive, and you take birth though you are the vital force of the unborn. You yourself descend among the animals, men, sages, and aquatics. Verily, this is bewildering. Let me check if the stream is going on. Yes, it's going. So, here, Srila Prabhupada, by the words of Kunti Maharani, is translating that although you are the soul of the universe, you work, you are still inactive, you take birth, still you are the unborn, you are the vital force of the unborn, and you descend among the animals, men, sages, aquatics, and this is very, very much bewildering. This is confusing. That how can an inactive thing be an active, and that also be the vital force of the whole universe? The transcendental pastimes of the Lord are not bewildering but also apparently contradictory. So, this is what we must remember. In other words, they are all inconceivable to the limited thinking power of human being. The Lord is the all prevailing super soul of all existence, and yet he appears in the form of a boar among the animals, in the form of a human being as Ram, Krishna, etc., and in the form of a rishi like Narayan, and in the form of an aquatic like a fish. Yet it is said that he is unborn, and he is nothing to do. In the Shruti mantra, it is said that the supreme Brahma has nothing to do. No one is equal or greater than him. He has manifold energies and everything is performed by him perfectly by automatic knowledge, strength, and activity. All these statements prove without any question that the Lord activities, forms, and deeds are also inconceivable to our limited thinking power, and because He is inconceivably powerful, everything is possible in Him. Therefore, no one can calculate him exactly. Every action of the Lord is bewildering to the common man. He cannot be understood by the Vedic knowledge, but he can be easily understood by the pure devotees because they are intimately related with him. The devotees therefore know that although he appears among the animals, he is not an animal or a man or rishi or a fish. He is eternally the Supreme Lord in all circumstances. Kunti addresses Krishna as Vishwatman, the vital force of the universe. In everybody, there is a vital force. That vital force is Atma, the living being, the living entity, the soul. It is because of the presence of that vital force, the soul, that the whole body works. Similarly, there is supreme vital force. The supreme vital force is Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead. Therefore, where is the question of his taking birth? In Bhagavad Gita, Lord says, Janma karma chaya me divyam evam yo veti tattva taktyatva punarjanma naitipam eti so Arjuna. Let us read it very once again. Janma karma chaya me divyam एवं यो वेति तत्त्वतः भक्त्या देहं पुनर्जन्म नैति मम एति सो अर्जुन. The one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, takes his birth in this material world again, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjun. So, this is why we must understand our dear Lord Krishna. In this verse, the word Divyam especially indicates that the Lord's appearance and activities are spiritual, and elsewhere in the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Ajopi san avyatma. The word Ajah means unborn, and Avyatma means not subject to destruction. This is nature of Krishna. Those transcendental nature is further described by Kunti Devi in her prayers to the Lord. In the beginning of her prayers, Kunti Devi said to the Lord, You are within, you are without, but still you are invisible. Krishna is within everyone's heart. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hriday Sannivishto. Oh, sorry. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hrideshe Arjuna Tishtati. Sarvasya Chaham Hriday Sannivishto. Indeed, he is within everything, even within the atom. Andantara sthita parmanu Sayantara sthitam Govindamadipurusham Tamaham bhajami. Krishna is within and he is also without. Thus, Krishna showed Arjun his external feature as the Vishwaroop, the gigantic cosmic manifestation. This external body of Krishna is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. There are hills, mountains described as the bones of the Lord. Similarly, the great oceans have been described as different holes in the universal body, in the Lord's universal body. And the planet known as Brahma Loka has been described as the upper portion of his skull. Those who cannot see God have been advised to see him in many ways in terms of material cosmic manifestation according to the instruction given here in the Vedic literatures. So let us. There are those who can simply think of God as being great, but do you know how great He is? When they think of greatness, they think of very high mountains, the sky, and other planets. Therefore, the Lord has been described in terms of such material manifestations. So, while thinking of these different manifestations, one can think of the Lord. This is also Krishna consciousness. If one thinks this mountain is the bone of Krishna, or if one thinks of vast Pacific Ocean as Krishna's navel, one in Krishna's one in Krishna consciousness. Similarly, one may think of the trees, plants as the hairs on Krishna's body. One may think of Brahma Loka as the top of Krishna's skull. One may think of Patal Loka, planetary system, as the soles of Krishna's feet. Thus, one may think of Krishna as great as the greatest, Mahato Mahyan. Similarly, one may think of Krishna as smaller than the smallest. There is That is also a kind of greatness. Krishna can manufacture this gigantic cosmic manifestation, and he can also manufacture a small insect. In a book, one may sometime find a small insect running insect smaller than a period. Small running insect smaller than a period. This is Krishna's craftsmanship. Anyor Aniyan Mahato Mahyan. There is something I need to check. I guess it's the fan. Okay, it's fine. Annoranyan Mahto Mahiyan Katha Upanishad. He can create something greater than the greatest and smaller than the smallest. Now human beings have manufactured the 747 airplane, which according to the conception is very big. But can they produce an airplane as small as flying insect? That is not possible. Actually, actual greatness, however, is not one-sided. One who is actually great can become greater than the greatest and smaller than the smallest. But even the great things man can manufacture in the modern age are still not greatest things man has created. But but even the great things men can manufacture in the modern age are still not the greatest thing man has created. We have information from the Srimad Bhagavatam that Kardama Muni, the father of the great sage Kapil Dev, manufactured a huge plane that resembled a great city. It included great lakes, gardens, streets, houses. The whole city was able to fly all over the universe. In that plane, Kardama Muni travelled with his wife and showed her all the planets. He was a great yogi, and his wife Devavati was the daughter of Swayambhu Manu, a great king. Kardama Muni had desired to marry, and Devhuti told her father, "My dear father, I want to marry that sage." Thus, Swayambhu Manu brought his daughter to Kardama Muni and said, "Sir, here is my daughter. Please accept her as your wife." She was a king's daughter and was very opulent. But when she joined her austere husband, she had to serve so much that she became lean and thin. In fact, even with insufficient food, she was working day and night. Thus, Kardamba Muni became compassionate. This woman who has come to me is a king's daughter, he thought. But but under my protection she is not receiving any comfort. So I shall give her some comfort. Thus asked his wife, "What will make you comfortable?" A woman's nature, of course, is that she wants a good house, good food, fine garments, good children, and a good husband. These are woman's ambition. Yes. Thus, Kardamba Muni proved to her that she had received the best husband. By yogic powers, he created for her this great airplane and gave her a big house with maid servants and all opulences. Kardamba Muni was merely a human being, but he could perform such wonderful thing by yogic power. We are reading it again, so we get to memorize what Srila Prabhupada has written for us. Krishna, however, is Yogeshwara, the master of all yogic powers. If we get a little mystic power, we become important. But Krishna is the master of all mystic powers. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that whatever there is Yogeshwara, wherever there is Yogeshwara, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the master of mystic power, and wherever there is Arjuna, who is known as Parth or Dhanurdhara, everything is present. So this is the last shloka of Bhagavad Gita which Sanjay is quoting. Yato Yogeshwar Krishna Tato Parth Dhanurdhara Tatra Shri Vijaya Bhutir Dhurva Nitir Matim. So everything is present where Yogeshwar, Lord Krishna is, and his friend Parth Arjun is present. There is everything. We should always remember that if we can keep ourselves always in company with Krishna, we shall attain all perfection. And especially in this age, Krishna is incarnated as the holy name. Kali Name Kali Kale Namrupe Krishna Avatara. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi 17.22. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Nam Namakari Bahuda Nit Sarva Shaktis Tatrapita Niyamita Smarane Kala. This is from the Shikshastakam. My dear Lord, you are so kind that you are giving me your association in form of your holy name. This holy name can be chanted in any situation. There are no hard and fast rules for chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. One can chant Hare Krishna anywhere. Children, for example, also chant and dance. It is not at all difficult. While walking, our students take their beads with them and chant. Where is the loss? But the gain is very great, for by chanting we associate with Krishna personally. Suppose we were to associate personally with the president, how would I feel? Oh, I am with the president. Should we not feel very much proud of it? Proud if we were associated with the supreme president who is able to create many millions of presidents like those of this world. This chanting is our opportunity to do so. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Etadishi tau kripa bhagwan mamapi. My dear Lord, you are so kind to give me that you are always prepared to give me your association. Durdaivam idrisham ihajani ni na anugraha. But I am so unfortunate that I do not take advantage of this opportunity. Our Krishna consciousness movement is simply requesting people chant Hare Krishna. There was a cartoon in some newspaper that depicted an old lady and her husband sitting face to face. The lady is requesting her husband chant, 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 and her husband is saying, answering, can't, can't, can't. So in this way, same way, we are requesting, please chant, but they are replying, can't, can't, can't. This is their misfortune. Still, it is our duty to make all such unfortunate creatures fortunate. That is our mission. Therefore, we go in street and chant. Although they say can't, we go on chanting. That is our duty. And if somehow or other we place some literature in someone's hand, he becomes fortunate. He would have squandered his hard earned money into so many nasty sinful ways. But if he purchases even one book, regardless of the price, his money is properly utilized. This is beginning of Krishna consciousness. Because he gives some of his hard-earned money for Krishna consciousness movement, he will get some spiritual profit. He is not losing, rather he is gaining some spiritual profit. Therefore, our business is somehow or other to bring everyone to this Krishna consciousness movement so that everyone may spiritually profit. And the spiritual profit, we will never lose it. Material profit, we can lose it anytime. When Krishna appeared on this earth, not everyone knew that he was the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although, when there was need, he proved himself the Supreme Godhead. He generally appeared to be just like an ordinary human being. Therefore, Shukdev Goswami, while describing how Krishna played as one of the boys, point out Krishna's identity. Who is this cowherd boy? Shukdev Goswami says, Itham Satam Brahma Sukhan Bhutaya. Itham Satam Brahma Sukhan Bhutaya. The impersonalists meditate upon the impersonal Brahma and thus feel some transcendental bliss. But Shukdev Goswami points out that the transcendental bliss is here. He is Krishna. Just by taking the name of Krishna, we feel bliss. Krishna is the source of everything. Am Sarvasya Prabhava. And therefore, the transcendental bliss that the impersonalists try to experience by mediating on the impersonal Brahma in fact comes from Krishna. Sukdev Goswami says, he is the person who is the source of Brahma Sukh, transcendental bliss that comes from realization of Brahma. A devotee is always prepared to render service to the Lord. Dasyam Gatanamam Paradevatena. Dasyam Gatanamam Paradevatena. But for those who are under the spell of illusory energy, he is ordinary boy. Maya Shritam Namam Naradarkena. दारकेन दारकेन मायाश्रितानां नरादारकेन ये यथा मां प्रपद्यते तां स्थितैव भजामि अहम्. Krishna deals with different living entities according to their conceptions. For those who regard Krishna as an ordinary human being, Krishna will deal like an ordinary human being. Whereas devotees who accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead will enjoy the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Of course, the object of the impersonalist is the Brahma Jyoti, the impersonal effulgence of the Supreme. But Krishna is the source of that effulgence. Therefore, Krishna is everything. Brahmameti paramate. Brahmameti paramatmeti. Bhagwan iti sabdyate. Brahmeti paramateti. Bhagwan iti sabdyate. Yet the cowherd boys are able to play the same with that same Krishna, that exalted personality of Godhead. How have they become so fortunate that they are able to play with him? Let us understand. Itham satam Brahma, Itham satam Brahma, Shukhan bhutaya, Dasyam gatanam para devatena. आयाश्रितं नराद्रकेन श्रद्धं विज्यारूह कृता पुण्य पुनः जना. So इत्थं सत्तम इत्थं सतमं ब्रह्म सुखानुभूतया दास्यं गतनां परा देवतेन मायाश्रितानां नरादराकेन श्रद्धं विज्ञाहुरुः कृता पुण्या पुण्यः. The cowherd boys playing with Krishna are also not ordinary. For those, they have attained the highest perfection of being able to play with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How did they achieve this position? Kritta Punya Punyaha. By many, many lives of pious activities, for many, many lives of these boys underwent austerities and penances to achieve the highest perfection of life. And now they have the opportunity to play with Krishna personally on equal level. They do not know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for that is the nature of Vrindavan Leela, Krishna's pastimes in the village of Vrindavan. Not knowing Krishna's identity, the cowherd boys simply love Krishna, and their love is unending. This is true of everyone in Vrindavan. For example, Yashoda Mata and Nand Maharaj, Krishna's mother and father, love Krishna with parental affection. Similarly, Krishna's friend, Krishna's girlfriends love Krishna. The trees love Krishna, water loves Krishna, the flowers, the cows, everyone loves Krishna. This is the nature of Vrindavan. So, if we simply learn how to love Krishna, we can immediately transform this world into Vrindavana Ramyasana Divya Chintamani Dhama. Okay, this is a only central point. How to love Krishna. Prema Puna Artho Mahan. Prema Pum Artho Mahan. People are generally pursuing dharma, artha, kama, moksha, religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disregard four things. These four things. These are not what is to be achieved in this life. He said the real goal of life is love of Krishna. Yes, of course, human life does not actually begin until there is some conception of religion, dharma. But in the present age, Kali Yuga, dharma is practically nil. There is no religion or morality, and there are no pious activities. And therefore, according to Vedic calculation, the present human civilization does not even consist of human beings. Formerly, people would care about morality, immorality, religion, and irreligion. But with the progress of Kali Yuga, this is all being vanquished. And people can do anything without caring what it is. Srimad Bhagavatam says we can actually see that in Kali Yuga, about 89% of the people are sinful. Illicit sex, intoxication, meat eating, and gambling are the four pillars of sinful life. And therefore, we are requesting that one breaks these four pillars so that the roof of sinful life will collapse. Then, by chanting Hare Krishna, one can remain established in the transcendental position. If it is a very simple method, hey Shishiner Singh Dev, I would pray to you that these four pillars of sinful life may break and that I can serve you more beautifully and piously. One cannot realize God if one's life is sinful. Therefore, Krishna says, Yesham tvatva antagatam papam janmam punya karmanam te dvandamoha niramukta bhajante mam dridhavrita. Persons who have acted piously in previous life and in this life, whose sinful life are whose sinful actions are completely eradicated and who are freed from the duality of delusion, engage themselves in my service with determination. Yesham tva antagatam papam janmam punyakarmanam te dvandava mohaniru nirmukta bhajante mam dridhavritam vrita. The word antagata means finished. One who engage in devotional service, if he has finished, if one has finished with his sinful life, who who can who can finish with sinful life? Those who are engaged in pious activities. One must have activities, and if one is engaged in pious activities, one's sinful activities will naturally vanquish. On the other side, one should voluntarily try to break the pillars of sinful life, and on the other side, one must engage himself in pious life. If one has no pious engagement, it is not that one can become free from sinful activities simply by theoretical understanding. For example, the American government is spending millions of dollars to stop the use of LSD and such other intoxicant, but the government has failed. How? It is simply that by passing laws or giving lectures, one can make people give up these things. It is not possible. One must give people good engagement and then they will automatically give up the bad ones. For example, we instruct our student no intoxication, they immediately give it up even though the government has failed to stop them. This is practical. Param drishta nivartate. If someone isn't given good engagement, his bad engagements cannot be stopped. This is not possible. Therefore, we have two sides: prohibition of sinful activities and engagement in good activities. We simply don't say no illicit sex, no intoxication, and so on. More negativity has no meaning and must be something positive. Therefore, because everyone wants engagement, this is because we are living entities, not dead stones. By meditating, meditation, the impersonalist philosopher tried to become dead stones. Let me think of something void or impersonal. But how can one artificially make oneself void? The heart and mind are full of activities, and artificial methods will not stop human society. Methods of so called yoga and meditation are all rascaldom. because they provide no engagement at all. But in Krishna consciousness, there is adequate engagement for everyone. Everyone rises early in the morning to offer worship to the deities. The devotees prepare nice food for Krishna. They decorate the temple, make garlands. So, go out chanting and sell books. They are fully engaged 24 hours a day, and therefore they are able to give up sinful life. If a child has in his hand something that he is eating, but we but we give him something better, he will throw away the inferior thing and take the better thing. So in Krishna consciousness, we offer better engagement, better life, better philosophy, better consciousness, everything better. And that is why I thank Srila Prabhupada for giving the home to every human being, so that they can come to pious activities and can have their lives better, everything better. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, those who are engaged in devotional service can give up sinful activities and promote themselves to Krishna consciousness. Activities intended to promote all living entities to Krishna consciousness are going on not only in human society but even in animal societies also. Because all living entities here are part and parcel of Krishna, but are rotting in this material world. Krishna has a plan, a big plan to deliver them. Sometimes he comes to this world personally, and sometimes he sends his very confidential devotees. Sometimes he leaves instructions like those of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna's incarnation appears everywhere, and he appears among animals, men, sages, and even acrobatics. Triyan, Nirshishu, Yadushu. For example, Krishna even appeared as fish incarnation, Matasya. Thus, Krishna's birth, appearance, and disappearance are all bewildering. Tad atyanta vidambanam. We conditioned living entities transmigrate from one body to another body because we are forced to do so by the laws of nature. But Krishna does not appear because he is forced. That is the difference. Those who are foolish rascals think I have taken my birth in this world, and Krishna has taken birth here also. Therefore, I am also God. They do not know that they will have to take birth again by the force of the laws of nature. One may have been given the chance to have a very beautiful body in a country where one can live in opulence and receive good education. But if one misuses all this, one will get another body according to the one's mentality. For example, at present moment, despite so many arrangements by the government for good schools and universities, the civilized countries of the world are producing hippies, young people who are so frustrated that they even worship hogs. But if one associate with the qualities of the hog, one will actually become a hog in one's next birth. Prakrite kriyamani gunai karmani sarvasha. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha. Nature prakrite karma prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha. Nature will give one a full opportunity. Alright, sir, become a hog. Such are nature's arrangement. Prakriti, nature has three modes, and if one associate with one type of mode, one will receive his next body accordingly. Krishna's appearance and disappearance are meant to put an end to living entities transmigration from one body to another, and therefore one should understand that the greatness of the plan behind Krishna's appearance and disappearance. It is not that Krishna comes whimsically, he has a great plan, otherwise why should he come here? He is very much eager to take us back to home, back to Godhead. That is Krishna's business. Therefore he says, सर्वाधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्ष्यामि मा शुचा. This is very very important. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. All of us children are of Krishna. All of us are children of Krishna, God. And since we are unhappy because of our taking material bodies for repeated birth, death, old age, and disease, He is more unhappy than we are. Our situation in the material body is not comfortable, but we are such foolish rascal that we do not care to do anything about this. We are busy trying to arrange our temporary comfort in this life, but we are not neglecting the real discomforts of birth, BODY, birth, death, age, old, and disease. This is our ignorance and foolishness. And therefore, Krishna comes to wake up from this ignorance and take us back to home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल। श्री श्री कुंती देवी की जय। श्री कृष्ण की जय। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।